Welcome back. Welcome back. I've got another request for rounding numbers. Okay, I'm going to start with the tens, go to the hundreds quick, then I'll finish with the thousands. All right, and then you can go all the way up to the millions and follow the same steps. All right. So we're going to start with the tens. Okay, rounding to the nearest 10. All right. So whatever column you are rounding to, I want you to underline that column. The tens column would be right here. All right. So we're at 54. And keeping in mind that if we have 4 or less, we're going down. If we have 5 or more, we're going up. Now, what does up and down mean exactly? Well, I like to draw a little number line to kind of explain that, all right? So I'm going to draw my line here. So if I were to go down, I would be going down to the nearest 10. So I'm going to just count backwards quick. 54, 53, 52, 51, 50 would be our, if we're going down, our nearest 10. And if we're going up, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and 60 would be our larger 10. So at the end of this problem, we're going to figure out, does 54 round to 50 or does 54 go up to 60? So we underlined our tens column because that's what we're rounding to is our tens. Okay, so now I just like to draw a little arrow right back to the one column to the right, which would be the ones in this case, and it's a 4. Now 4 tells us to do what? Well, that fall into the 4 or less, we're going down. So that means our answer would be 50. 54 would round to 50. Now, I'm going to pretend, erase that quick. I'm just going to make this a 7. Now, if we looked at the 1, 7 would tell 5 or more is telling us to go up. We go up to 60. I'm going to go on to the hundreds now. I'm going to just throw a number up here real quick, 354. All right, so now we are rounding to our hundreds. Okay, so let's draw our number line here. So if we went down 100, I'm not going to count backwards. But if we went to start counting backwards, what would be the first 100 that we hit? Well, we're in the 300s. Before we got to the 200s, we would have to hit 300, right? And if we were to count up, the next 100 after the 300s is the 400s. Okay? So we're trying to figure out 300 or 400. What's 354 going to round to? So we are rounding to the hundreds column. So we're going to underline that hundreds column because that's the one that we're rounding to, the nearest 100. And then we're going to draw an arrow back. And it's a 5. 5 tells us, oh, 5 or more, we're going up. So that means our 354 would round to 400. If this was a 3, 334, 3 would be 4 or less. We would go down to 300 there. All right, last one. We are going to round to our thousands. We're going to do a problem like, 7,246. All right. So we're just like our other ones. We start with our line. So if we went down, what would our nearest thousand be? Well, we can't ever leave whatever number you're in, whatever thousand you're in, you can't leave it without hitting the exact thousand, which would, in this case would be 7,000. We can't get to 6,000 with 6,999 without hitting 7,000 first. So it's always whatever this is, and then it's just 7,000. If it was hundreds, it'd be 700s. If it was 72, it'd be 70. All right. And then the next 1,000 up from 7,000s after the 7,000s is the 8,000s. All right. So now that we're going to figure out is it 7,000 or is it 8,000? So rounding in thousands, so we underline our thousands, draw our arrow back. 2 tells us to do what? 4 or less, we're going down. So that means 7,246 would round to 7,000. Just a quick video. Hopefully it helps. It's helpful to write 4 or less go down, 5 or more go up. Make sure you draw your number line and figure out what side it'll go to limit. It changes it so you have 2 answers to choose from, down or up. And then once you draw your line, if you're rounding to the hundreds, you can even round to the hundreds from 7,000. Underline that. Underline your hundreds, and then go back to your tens. And this would be 7,200. All right. Quick side note. But yes, underline, if you're rounding the thousands to the hundreds, underline it, go back to the right one spot. That number tells you whether you go up or down. If you go down, you pick the one on the left. If you go up, you pick the greater number. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope this helps.